Hi and welcome back to our channel. My name is Ellie and today I'm going to guide you through something very different maybe than the last video you saw about me. So we're going to move through a very restorative practice. As we might gravitate in life through different things and exploring different aspects of the practice, might be also for our practice sometimes that is lacking some elements, or we gravitate more towards a more active movement. At least I speak for myself. But I never forget to kind of bring in some softness, and I like to make the environment welcoming for me. So I always like to light a candle just so that smells everything nice. For today's practice we will need a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can often use pillows with no problems, but make sure that they are not super soft, that there is some sturdiness there, and blocks, of course, that will help us to rest and feel a more ease as we move a little bit less than usual in our restorative practice. So let's start automatically on our back. We want to place the bolster under our knees, resting on the back in a support shavasana. And at any point of your practice here, if you feel you want to close your eyes, please do so. Take a moment here to relax everything you feel you need to relax. Start to tune in with the breath, even noticing if your automatic response is to tense some muscles. Notice if you can release those muscles. If you can't, let's breathe together. So when you're ready, breathe in. Exhale fully out. Breathe in. Exhale and let go. Breathe in. A little bit more and fully out. Keep your breath nice, consistent and long. Make sure your eyes are closed for the full practice so that you can fully withdraw at least from one of your senses. We will stay here a little bit longer. So notice what it does to you, what suggests to your mind. Can your mind simply stay here in silence? And if you notice or you catch yourself thinking, can you simply say or see your thoughts like balloons? They're flying away in the sky. So you can recognize them. Maybe you recognize the color, the shape. But then you allow them to move towards the sky. You can always move the head from side to side if it feels good and helps your eyes to be closed. You can always place the hands on top of your belly if it helps your shoulder to relax. The practice of restorative yoga can help even to ease up our evening as we approach our restful sleep. So that we are indirectly say to our body that we are ready for rest. And if you notice that your body sometimes twitches or moves, it's okay. It takes time sometimes because of our active life to simply welcome pure stillness. Taking 5 breaths here. Allow the breath of the exhalation to be long. Taking the last cycle of breath in and out. And when you're ready, maybe keeping your eyes closed, doing the minimum amount of movement that you might think of. You want to bring your bolster a little bit closer so that you can lift the hips up and rest your bolster under your hips in a supported bridge, making sure that the bolster is resting somewhat above your hips onto your sacrum. You can keep the knees bent. Remember, it's a restorative practice, so we are not looking for intense sensation. Unless for you feels good to send the feet more away from you. At least I speak for myself, it feels very nice. Hands can be overhead, maybe you hold the opposite elbows. And we stay here again, bringing stillness. Notice what is there to be noticed. Allowing the body to talk instead to directing the body. Notice if your first reaction is indeed to tense a muscle or not. Notice which muscle is your first reaction to tense. If you kept your knees bent, probably you are less subjected to this automatic response. If you allow your legs to stretch, you might experience some, I would say, fight back from your body, but you can also say to your body that it's safe to be here. You will notice if you breathe in that direction, that things will help you out. When you're ready, gently, if your legs were extended, start to bend your knees again, placing the sole of the feet onto the ground, allowing your hips to lift a bit so that you can slide the bolster onto the side and bring your back again on floor slowly and like gently. From here you want to grab your bolster, maybe just allowing yourself to push the elbows on ground, gently bring yourself to a seat. Keep your eyes closed, or if you need like some direction you can always open your eyes. And we want to place the bolster into the middle of our mat so that we can gently rest on top with our belly. So when you really place the elbow side of your bolsters around, allow like your right knee to bend. Extend the left leg back and allow your left cheek to be on top of the bolster in this supported twist. Make sure that the bolster is not pressing against your abdominal muscles, or that at least when you're practicing, I hope your food was digested at least a bit, so that you don't find any constriction here or annoyment. Embody like some surrendering. I like to hug my bolster, so it feels nice and comfortable to be here. Of course, if you have pillow at home, you can create a little, you can kind of create a little pile of pillows for you so that you can rest on top. Keeping breathing in out from the nostrils. Deepening the breath as you move deep into your practice. Maybe you even sleep with a pillow like this, at home. So you might already invite that energy of restfulness. What you can do when the mind gets distracted, focus again on the breath, taking 3 last breaths here. Exhaling fully, breathing in and out. Breathing in and let go. When you're ready, help yourself to move towards the other side, sliding the right leg back, bringing the left knee a little bit closer, bending on the side. And here we want to place the opposite cheek on our bolster. Reminding ourselves that here there is nothing that can be done wrong or right. It's simply what we want to do. How we can seek a more surrendering sensation. How we can accept surrender in our practice as well. What we need to do to to surrender. Can be the answer to such question as easy as your breath, as focusing on to the equanimity of your breath, inviting a breathing meditation. Keep your eyes closed. Think about closing your eyes as a gesture of kindness towards your eyes. They might be tired from a long day at the computer, or might be tired just by taking all this information in. So you want to give rest also to them. When you're ready, take the last breath in and out. Breathing in and out. Taking a moment here to prop yourself gently up. Prior to that, slide the leg back. Bring the elbows under and find yourself somewhat like almost pushing back into a child pose. Rest the bolster where it is. Relax the head down. We'll use the bolster again, and if you have a towel at home, you might use it under your face for the next pose, or you might, like me, just rest it onto your mat. When you're ready, start to come back up gently and bring your bolster onto the side of your mat. Getting ready to bring yourself onto your belly. Gently, simply twisting by bringing the right knee on top of your bolster as you place it onto the right side. And relax your forehead down. Maybe even one cheek on the ground. I generally prefer my left side so that I can invite this twist to be very, very gentle. If you want to intensify, you can look towards the other side. But again, that's your call and that's your choice. Keep your eyes closed. Notice how your breath can naturally slow down if you allow your breath to do so. What will take for you to invite a little bit of come through to your day, like really allowing yourself to slow down. When you're ready, gently, if you want, you can send the right leg back. Take a moment here to wiggle the hips. Gently push yourself back and allow your bolster to move towards the other side so that you can rest the knee, the left one now, onto your bolster. So bring your belly on ground. Make sure that the bolster is nice position close to your left hip. And when you're ready, bend your left knee and just place it on top. Again, you can seek any position that feels best for your neck. You might notice that you have a tendency. For today, just follow which one is your tendency when it comes to your neck. Allowing simply to find some stillness and juiciness here. Breathing in and out from the nostrils. Preparing or simply allowing again everything to drop down. Maybe noticing if anything already shifted, if you can stay still. If your eyes are so closed that you are enjoying actually this moment. When you're ready, gently send the left leg back. Bring yourself again on ground. Maybe wiggle the hips. Do anything that you find comfortable for you or soothing for you. And when you're ready, push yourself back up gently. Little motion. And this is the time where we will need our block. Placing the block onto the ground. We want to make sure that the block can be a nice support for our bolster so that we can place the bolster on top and rest our back on our block, on our bolster. So it might come easy if the bolster maybe is a little bit lower than what you will initially plan. And then you just bring your hips on ground. Placing the hips in contact with the bolster and allowing your back to rest onto the bolster. Joining the feet together, allowing the hip to open on side. Hands can be just on side of your hips or torso. Close the eyes. And we stay here roughly for 20 breaths. Noticing simply how it makes us feel to be supported and resting on top of our bolster. Noticing the ebb and flow of your chest. Directing your attention inward. In the last 2 breaths here, embodying just calm as you stay. And when you're ready, gently, but very, very slowly, almost if you're rolling out of this bolster, move maybe one hip on ground and then move all the way up. We'll place again the bolster behind our back with intention this time really to roll on top and extend our extremities as we do so. Like again, supporting the back bend. Will be a little bit higher than before. Of course, you can always place a block behind the head if you feel that can be better for you. Or, as I prefer, really to surrender when I'm here with my bolster behind my back. I send my hand on ground and maybe the arms are reaching slightly overhead or on the side. If you have a lot of tension in your shoulders normally, here you will be welcome with quite some, I would say, tension indeed. So you can always open the arms on side instead. So work for you what works best. Remember that the scope of this class is find easiness and surrender. So don't put yourself in a position where you know that you're gonna fight back. Keep breathing here. Again, 20 to 25 breaths. According how long is your breath. Can you surrender? Can you hang in here and simply be? Enjoy the last 2 breaths. From here, start to gently roll on the side of the bolsters. We want to avoid any unnecessary strong motion. And when you're ready, move the bolster from the side onto the side, resting again onto your back. Bringing the knees slightly in. And when you're ready, either with your elbows bent like cactus arms, or with the arms extended on the side in 90-degree angle with your body, you can allow your knees to drop. I would say always to the first part that comes first, because probably this is the part you need the most. Allow your gaze to move towards that direction. Allow your breath to be soft. If you experience any discomfort into your twist, remind yourself you can bring the bolsters again under the knees, or a block may be better, so that you can rest here with ease. Noticing how after a bit of surrendering and staying, it becomes way easier to stay. Maybe even you're so relaxed that you might find tingling or little sensation onto the skin. When you're really keeping the eyes closed with not too much thinking, or unless you want to, you're always welcome to make sure to do what feels best for you. Otherwise, drop the knees onto the other side. Always bringing the knees before to center to equalize the hips. Allow yourself to breathe long also here, noticing the difference, or simply accepting the difference between your different body parts, the left and the right. The power of stillness cannot just ease our mind, sometimes can unveil things that are deep inside of us, things that we feel maybe we don't want them to surface. But let
I think our self-experience also stuff that we sometimes find confronting is the beginning of a growing process. It's the beginning of a change, a positive one. And you're ready, gently, again, maybe transition, bringing the feet on ground so that the hips can equalize. Take a moment maybe here to bring the knees towards the chest and rock yourself from side to side. I will invite you in your Shavasana, and I will ask you to stay here as long as your body needs to. The hands can rest where you want. Maybe one hand on belly and one on heart. To be the observer of your breath. Not with the intention of judging, perfectionism or adjusting, but with the amaze look, with the happiness in the heart, with the surprise of this amazing process that allows you to move through your life, that implies you are alive. You are alive. Taking one breath in, exhaling fully out, breathing in, surrendering, breathing back in, a little bit more, exhaling out. Please make sure you stay in your Shavasana as long as your body needs to. I personally want to thank you for being with me today, to take some time to rest so that you can better digest or maybe find a little bit more balance. Please stay in your Shavasana as long as you need to. Feel free to just stay, maybe enjoying a little bit more the scented candle that you lit up for yourself. Thank you again for being with me today. I hope to see you soon on our channel.